Hey everybody, it's Matt Robinson. Welcome to another edition of the Writer's Block. I was recently at my alma mater at Boston University for the Book Thinkers Conference. And while there, I met many amazing authors and learned a great deal about writing and the business of writing. I was also fortunate enough to find a tribe of people who, like me, value the printed word and want to use it as a tool to improve the world and the lives of those in it. And one of these was Nick Reich, who is my guest today. Nick is a leadership strategist, executive coach, and CEO of Abundant Empowerment, where he helps build high-performing people-first cultures. A former championship high school basketball coach in Indiana, no less, impressive credential. Nick continues to help talented individuals come together to find what makes each of them stronger so they can support their teams with maximal efficiency. His book, Every Player is Bigger Than the Program, helps leaders around the world navigate complexity, build trust, and create environments where people and performance grow together. I'm honored to have him on my show today. Welcome, Nick.
Matt, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, it was great to connect to Book Thinkers.
So how did you, well, actually, first, what brought you to Book Thinkers?
Yeah, so I'm working with Morgan James Publishing, who's getting the book out. The book launches September 8th of 2026. So just still kind of in that process of getting it out into the world and learning and connecting. And for someone like me, I mean, getting the book out is one thing, but being around bookish people, as you mentioned, is always a joy. I got in on Friday, actually, and spent the day going to the Boston Library, going to all of the independent bookstores. So kind of a bookcation, I guess. But yeah, I mean, just being able to spend time with folks who, like you said, care about books in general, reading, writing, talking about books. It was not much better ways to spend a weekend.
Yeah, I actually met the Morgan James team at Book Thinkers last year, and they're really great people. They were they've been very supportive of my process as well. So I'm glad you got such a good team. Yeah, so speaking of teams, how did you go from basketball coach to executive coach?
Basketball coach was never the long-term career path. I started as a school social worker, and I played some college basketball, and I joined halfway through the school's second year of existence, so a brand new charter school in downtown Indianapolis. And I became connected to the basketball program in a lot of ways by default because I had played some basketball. So, it started pretty much as an after-school intramural program, just giving the kids something to do after school to keep them busy. We applied for participation in the IHSAA and was accepted. And then we had 4 years, actually 3 years competing in the state tournament when we won a state championships. We're the fastest team in Indiana history to ever win a high school basketball state championship. And that was the last game I ever coached.
And that's not your book, or not yet?
That is a large part of the book. So I always say the book is a leadership book through a basketball story. One of the things that I have wrestled with for 15 years, transitioning from school social worker and basketball coach to leading multiple nonprofit organizations, leading global health organizations around the world, becoming an executive coach and leadership coach and doing all this work is, what about the ingredients? What did we do to make us successful? I was not the best coach in the state of Indiana by a long shot. We did not have the best team or the most talent of any roster in the state. So what allowed us to do something that had literally never been done in Indiana history before or after? So I think about that a lot, and I've thought about it a lot over 15 years and spent a lot of time connecting with leaders and organizations in all different sectors, and started to see a lot of patterns around what made us successful, especially in hindsight. Some things were intentional, some things, I didn't really know why I was doing it, but you look back and you were really planting some seeds. And, there's really not a huge difference between building high-performing teams and high-performing cultures in sports or in, our organizations and teams around in business as well.
What would you say are some of the most explicit lessons or that parallel in both sorts of teams?
Yeah, I think it's about the people. And that's the big part of the book is it introduces the people first playbook for building high performing teams. And, I think one of the things that we always see is, it is really about building and developing people. There's kind of 6 plays in the playbook, but one of them is about connection. And we've got to be able to build the strong connection with our people. And that allows us to push, and that allows us to have high expectations and high accountability and all these things. But it really comes back to, our ability to know and develop our people so they're seen and feel like they belong as humans, not just cogs on a wheel or numbers on a spreadsheet.
Right. So is that the ethos behind Abundant Empowerment? Where did that come from?
Yeah, my partner actually launched Abundant Empowerment just 2 years ago this month in 2024. She had been a long time coach and leadership development CEO with another firm. I had another consulting firm actually, so we kind of merged everything together. And when she founded Abundant Empowerment, I came alongside, and we've been growing that business here over the last couple of years. And really, just as we lean into our lanes and strengths, my strength falls in helping guide and grow the business on the business side. She manages a lot of our delivery and client work and sales and all those things. And it's just a dynamic leader in and of herself. So we make a good team and balance each other out and continue to grow the business. But yeah, we do leader development, executive coaching, executive team development with organizations around the country.
What was the book in process before that was created, or did it come from the?
Yeah, the book was in part. The book's been in process for 15 years. It's been noodling around in there for a little while. But I started the book in May of 25. Was the first kind of pen to paper. I started shopping the book around to some publishers and connecting with folks in the summer. I had by that time, a handful of chapters and an outline and a plan for the book. And then I was fortunate enough, there was a journalist that used to work for the Indianapolis Star, moved on to USA Today. She had written on our team, so she knew me and she knew the story. And I reached out to her in the summer and just asked if I could run, some pages by her. She responded back and said, just let me help you with all of the editing. So she became, developmental and line edit. So the book is so much better because Marissa got involved. So I'm so grateful for that. And so we delivered the manuscript to Morgan James in January of this year. And then, book comes out in September. So it's been a little bit of a process, but they say writing the book's the easy part. And I've been having to go out and talk about it and promote it and have conversations, which, has been a lot of fun. But sometimes, you're putting things out and curious if anybody actually listens.
Hopefully you got some good advice and support at Book Thinkers, like I think everybody did.
Absolutely.
How does the book fit in with Abundant Empowerment? Are they related to each other? Or is it sort of a separate thing that you had already?
No, yeah, it's connected. I mean, it's so much aligned with the work that we do every day. I mean, we focus on developing people first leaders. We talk about our purpose is to expand what's possible for humanity by developing leaders who live fully, lead consciously, and create the conditions for others to do the same. And so that very much is aligned with, the way that I led back then as a coach and the things that came out of the book. So the ethos of the book, the core of the message is very much a part of the work that we do every day. It's embedded in the way that we do consulting, the way that we do coaching. We run workshops and cohorts related to the book content, speaking engagements related to the book and the content. So very much a core part of the way we work and, what we deliver in terms of our coaching and consulting.
How does your social work background continue to play a role?
I think one of the things that you kind of learn going through the social work process is really this strengths-based perspective, right? You're kind of taught, view everything from a strengths-based perspective. Look for the positive, look for the strengths that you can build on, as opposed to searching for the deficits, because those are often much easier to find, right? Looking for the deficits, and we find what we're looking for in ourselves, in our communities, whatever the case is. So I think that creates such a strong foundation in philosophically the work that we do. We often talk about helping leaders be more of who they already are. We don't have necessarily something to teach, that our position is that everybody has the knowledge, the skills, the tools, the resources within themselves to be successful. So we help curate that and help, kind of people get through, some of the baggage and some of the things that they might be carrying, to be able to really step into who they are as leaders. So that strengths-based perspective as a social worker is really philosophically aligned with who we are and how we show up in our consulting and leader development practice as well.
What new strengths in yourself did you find in the process of writing the book?
Patience, first and foremost. That was, there was a lot of things there. And in some ways, it was just dying to get out. It's an interesting story, right? Because we did not have a gym.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we played 4 years of road games. We didn't have a gym, really no budget. And yet, again, still became the fastest team in Indiana history. So there was a lot of that in there. There was also some level of getting a little bit of a thicker skin, I guess, right? Editing's hard, especially when it's a story that's so personally connected to who I am. So, being able to get feedback and be able to be open to that was certainly something that continued to go over time, because you're so close to it. But I was so grateful that the editor knew me and knew the story, so she could really dig in and say, like, Nick, like right there, I know that story. You've got to go deeper there. You've got to go deeper and really open up a little bit more. So I'm so grateful that she was able to push me there as well.
That's great. Well, we're all looking forward to the book. Where can people find the book, find more about you?
Yeah, so you find me on LinkedIn, Nick Reich, abundantempowerment.com. The book is available anywhere that books are sold. So Barnes & Noble, Amazon. I don't know exactly when this is coming out, but we have Goodreads giveaways that are going on between now and launch. So lots of places to see and get the book. So yeah, anywhere books are sold, you can grab the Kindle or the print. It comes out September 8th.
Great. And when are you going to be back up in Boston?
I don't know. It's been a while. I love Boston. It's been a while since I've been back up there this first time around, but hopefully maybe some of these bookstores can carry the book and I can come back up for an event. All
right. Well, please keep us posted, and we'll be looking for the book. And we'll be looking for everybody else on the next episode of the Writer's Block. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, man.